Hello everyone, and today we're watching part 2 of the top 10 most disturbing 40k characters by Warhammer. Please go and watch the original video, link below. Please like, share and subscribe to Warhammer, he makes great videos. Yeah, let's start.
Is your goal for me to not sleep tonight?
Yeah, I've just shown her the Noise Marines and they've traumatized her. Me, I think they're more cool than anything. Yeah, okay, I looked physically repulsed. In reality, I've listened to worse stuff about Slaanesh. Judy hasn't.
There's worse about her?
Yeah.
Or him, or it,
yeah.
or whatever it is.
You're going to take great pleasure one day when we're able to get a strong enough PC to play Warhammer 3.
Please tell me to play with Slaanesh.
You're going to have great pleasure obliterating Slaanesh.
It terrifies me.
The characters, yeah.
I like Nurgle. He's just cute. I like the little characters, the little tiny.
She really likes Nurglings. She really loved the glitchlings as well.
I like them too. They're just funny.
That's from a previous video we done about obscure demons in Warhammer 40k, which you can watch.
I mean, I know they're deadly, but they're so cute. They remind me of Ace. I think that's why. Because Ace stinks too. I mean, you can't use enough soap on that cat to make it smell good one day.
No. Anyway, so we'll watch the video. We'll be watching 3 characters today. Yeah.
We're starting with this creepy thing.
No, we're not.
Oh, thank God. That was last time.
This is Lorgar.
Every time.
My bad, that was me. Let's start the video.
Oh, we're starting with the
Lictor.
The Lictor.
Despite the fact that you've probably seen
I want to be Lictor.
throughout the lore.
Or Tyranid.
If you're a Tyranid player, you've probably fielded several of them at once in the 40k tabletop game. It's important to remember that all Tyranids are the same organism. Every Lictor that has ever lived is the Lictor, each one containing the memories, experience, and evolutionary advantage of every Lictor body that had come before. The Lictor is the apex of evolution, a perfect killing machine, honed over countless millennia. They act as scouts for the Tyranid swarm, moving ahead of the Hive fleet's advance, and gathering crucial intel. They locate pockets of...
Alright, so if you see one of these, you're next, basically.
I want to be next.
And determine any and all weak points within an enemy's structures. They are solitary predators that prefer to hunt from the shadows, picking off key targets one by one, leaving the survivors with an overwhelming feeling of dread, knowing they are completely helpless against the unseen enemy. It's seemingly random and utterly lethal attack patterns.
Doesn't mean he likes to torture them?
Yeah, he likes to stalk them and circle them and so on and then get them.
That's like cat and mouse.
In some extreme examples, leading to a complete breakdown of the enemy's morale and command structures, as the prey begins to accept the inevitability that it is only a matter of time before the Lictor comes for them. This has given the Lictor a particularly fearsome reputation amongst members of the Guard. They are remarkably patient hunters.
I believe so.
Maintain perfectly still and undetected for days, weeks, or even months on end, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. When that time comes, they are horrendously efficient and are equipped with an entire arsenal of bioweaponry used to quickly eliminate and dismember their targets as quickly and quietly as possible. For example, the feeder tendrils that hang from a Lictor's mouth are strong enough to penetrate their prey's eyes, drilling directly into the brain cavity, and then being used to quickly devour its brain while it's still alive. Through the consumption...
Oh yeah.
Is it like Warhammer Zombie now?
No, Tyranids are all about biomass. When they invade a planet, they care about the biomass, not the the inhabitants. Well, I think they devour them obviously as well for their biomass, but they want the planet's biomass. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Tyranids are oversized bugs.
I kind of call them that.
Its prey's brain tissue.
I like brains.
To learn everything the individual knew in life, key command posts, military secrets, and any and all information.
So it could get anything it wants from someone.
Say what?
So it wants information, it'll just take it from that person's brain.
Yeah. And then it will relay it to all the other members of the Hive.
That is not a good thing that they have that advantage against people.
I mean, Tyranids, I think, are one of the most overpowered races in Warhammer, personally. I don't know what it's like when they fight Chaos, though. I don't know if Chaos will fight them off.
It doesn't help, though, that their plans can be given out like that because they took the information, though. It's not a good thing.
I mean, you got to change your plan very quick, then.
You better get some really good bug killer.
Like that hilariously small spray the man in Japan gave us to fight off that big spider.
It was meant for house spiders.
House spiders, not fucking demons.
You sprayed it and it got... it
Just got angry. Just hissed.
It went at us.
Yeah, when we sprayed it, it's like, oh god.
And that was the whole can.
So...
We were dizzy and he was alive.
From the devastation of Baal that follows a lictor that has moved behind enemy lines and is scouting out the Blood Angels' defenses for the incoming Hive fleet. The lictor looked like a creature unto itself. It moved as a solitary organism. It had operated on its own for years, far away from the Hive fleet, but it was not apart from the Hive mind. That was the mistake the prey always made. Even at this corpuscular level, it was a mistake to see the lictor as a lictor. One of millions. There were not many. There was one. The lictor was the lictor. Every iteration was a copy, better than perfect for eons of improvement, party to the actions, mistakes, and successes of every other lictor that had come before. Welded to the very genes of its being were untold millions of years of experience. It was on Baal just as it was simultaneously on 1,000 other worlds throughout the galaxy. It put ancient lessons into action. Sight was the easiest sense to fool. The lictor moved at night when it was harder to see. Chromatic microscales lent it near-perfect chameleonic ability, even in the full light of day. Deformable organ clusters embedded in its skin allowed it to change its shape somewhat, enabling it to take on the rough texture of stone or mimic fronds of vegetation.
Did it change itself?
Yeah, like it's like a chameleon.
So it's a chameleon bug zombie thing.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Harder to deceive
It's
because
kind of a scary thought.
the lictor managed that too.
Definitely.
It had virtually no scent. Only when it flooded the air with pheromone trails to guide its kin beast did its emissions become noticeable. By then, it was too late, and most prey could hear, so it made no sound when it moved. Special arrangements of hair baffled the whispers of its limbs moving over one another, and more esoteric senses were equally well accounted for. Its electromagnetic profile was minimal. Its brain case was shielded by eternal bone structures against energy leakage. The nerves in its body were similarly cloaked. Its hooves were shaped to make the minimum of vibration, and although it could not entirely stop the perturbation of the air made by its movements, its chitinous plates were fluted in precise molecular fractal patterns to minimize its wake. It gave off no heat, it shed no cells unless damaged. Its psychic link with the hive mind was like spider silk, gossamer thin, strong, and almost impossible to detect. More adaptations heaped on top of more. Unlike a natural organism who loses certain gifts in favor of others as evolution pushes it down a particular path, the lictor's advantages were retained. New gifts stacked atop the others. Its genetic structure was incredibly complex.
It can't be beaten.
The Wildlife Fund for Nature is a non-governmental organisation which works in the field of wilderness preservation and the reduction of the human impact on the environment. This is our first charity we wanted to support. The event is called 100 Miles in March. We're literally doing this because we love animals. Like, we love animals. You can see Ace right now being the lion he thinks he is. In reality, he's just a cat. But a cute cat, don't get me wrong, but, you know. If you wish to donate to this charity, please use the QR code on the screen now. I'll pull it like here. So please go onto that if you want to donate money to it. All the money goes directly to them. It doesn't go to us at all. Thank you for your time.
No, I can't.
You can't win.
There's no way. What is the way to kill this thing? Someone tell me that stuff.
Like, it can't win. Like, you can't win. You may as well just accept that it's there, and you just.
You might as well just turn your weapon on yourself at that point.
Yeah, like, just make it easy for it. Save it some time.
It's better than getting this claw thing in your brain.
Oh, I think even then it can take your memories.
Well, yeah, but at least you don't gotta feel it.
Mm.
You wanna feel a claw in your brain?
Unlucky for a Lictor, I will forget everything in the next half an hour. I always do.
Yeah, you kind of got. Well, he takes Ace's in memory. He's not gonna get much.
Like, what's he gonna get from me? Like, honestly.
Nothing much.
There you go.
Batman information?
Yeah, Batman information. There you go. The occasional YouTube stuff.
Ooh, your Pokemon characters, you remember?
Yeah, the Pokemon character. Like, what are you gonna get from me?
You said that. Look at Ace.
He's not impressed, is he?
He's not gonna get much of Ace.
Oh my god, he's laying on the sofa. That's funny. Yeah, let's carry on.
Within every cell was billions of years worth of adaptation, culled from every lictor, coiled up one over the other. Anything useful to its role, and no matter how inconsequentially seeming, it retained forever. Every machine and psychic ability the Imperium had geared towards its detection, the Lictor could evade. The Hive mind had consumed far more advanced races than mankind. Infiltrating Baal was child's play. There was no need for it to employ a fraction of its considerable talents. Number 7,
Ooh.
the Nightbringer.
Ooh.
Considering that I just recently talked about the Catan in my last video, I'm going to keep this entry short. But the Nightbringer definitely deserved to be on this list. He was said to be the most physically powerful of all the Catan.
Remember, the Catan were the ones that betrayed the Necrons.
Yes.
Godlike beings
We learned about
devoured
them.
entire stars before eventually making contact with the Necron tier and forming an alliance with them against the Old Ones during an event known as the War in Heaven. The Catan were originally formless entities, but the Necron tier crafted them frames of living metal with which to inhabit. Each of these living metal bodies was said to represent the essence of each Catan. The Nightbringers sported a Grim Reaper motif, which is quite fitting, as the Nightbringer is figuratively and somewhat literally the embodiment of death itself. He was said to be the one that introduced the emotion of fear to the physical universe. This creature would prey upon entire systems, taking a sick and twisted delight in the suffering he would inflict on untold billions, gorging himself on the terror of his victims.
Oh,
During the time
let's form an alliance with him.
in which the Necron tier worshipped
don't
the
think
Catan as
idea.
gods, the Nightbringer was seen as the god of death, an entity whose hunger for the souls of mortals was never satiated. Now, in the 42nd millennium, the Catan exist as a shattered species, each of the remaining ones having been broken into dozens of shards. Each of these shards contains a splinter of the original Catan's power, and are said
there
to be
was
some
one
of the most
original and then he
dangerous
split.
weapons the Necrons have access to. The Nightbringers are said to be the most difficult to control. Those who witness the towering form of the Nightbringer find themselves frozen with fear, as the icy fingers of death wrap around their mind, making them easy prey for his cold and calculated reaping.
No, I'm right. Was it Goge Vandire?
Number 6, Goge Vandire.
Ah, completely off. Goge Vandire.
Unlike the other
Off with your head for that one.
Vandire himself is not really much of a threat physically. He's an old man that through a huge campaign of coordinated assassinations, backstabbing, and blackmailing, managed to become the head of not just the administration,
Sounds like a politician.
but also the Ecclesiarchy at the time, making him single-handedly the most powerful person in the entire Imperium, and next to the Emperor himself. I actually had a pretty lengthy segment on his entire backstory in my Sisters of Battle deep dive if you're interested. What makes him creepy is his utter insanity. The dude was a vindictive monster who, in his later years, was known to babble gibberish to himself at all times. Any who witnessed such a display were told that the Emperor was directly conversing with him, or more commonly, Vandire would just have them executed. At one point, he would discover a faction of warrior women known as the Daughters of the Emperor, who would one day become the Sisters of Battle.
That's
He
cool.
deceived them into thinking he was
They're
the
cool.
chosen of the Emperor. The creepy bastard renamed them the Brides.
Oh, I love that. That's like good symbology there. That's like a heaven coming down to help them.
Yeah.
Of the Emperor,
Sorry, it ain't not a heaven
He
coming from a
called them
heaven.
brides of Emperor at one point.
conscripting them into service as his personal bodyguards. The lore doesn't go into a lot of specifics here, but it's not difficult for us to imagine this power-obsessed monster had taken this proud and honorable faction and degraded them into a harem of eye candy to be at his side at all times. His period of rule would come to be known as the Reign of Blood. No one was safe from his tyranny, and as his insanity and paranoia grew with every passing day, he would take to torturing any of those who opposed him, regardless of whether or not they were guilty. He would claim that through the sadistic acts he inflicted on others, he was purifying their souls.
That room doesn't look like he's purifying their souls, though.
It looks like he's murdering their souls.
I don't know if you've seen this one before. This has loads of spikes and stuff.
Yeah, it drains them, I know.
He had a massive network of
It's a
spies
medieval
and other
torture device.
militaristic factions that had pledged loyalty to him. And whether it was because of belief in his cause or out of fear of what he would do if they refused his orders, most likely varies from person to person. That fear would have been well-founded, however, as he would unleash his armies against countless worlds within the Imperium if he detected even a small percentage of a planet not being completely under his control. Whether that take the form of virus bombing innocent worlds, to melting a planet's polar ice caps in order to drown its entire population. And there was no limit to the profound levels of cruelty the mad Ecclesiarch wouldn't condemn entire populations to. Due to his madness and paranoia, it is believed that many of these worlds were actually completely loyal, and that the bloodshed that...
Just saying, how many people did he push to chaos?
Too many? Definitely not room.
slaked nothing more than his ego. Thankfully, Vandire's rule would eventually come to an end, when many of the other Imperial forces rose up against him, including the Custodians, who at the time had retreated into the Imperial Palace. Their role was to answer only to the Emperor, so they had mostly stayed neutral in the affairs of the Imperium. It was through a conversation with one of these Custodians that Alicia Dominica, a woman that would become the first saint of the Adeptus Sororitas sometime later, and the founder of the Ebon Chalice Convent, would be convinced to journey to the Golden Throne, where it is believed that the Emperor spoke directly to her and told her the truth of Vandire's madness. She returned to the palace immediately and executed him on the spot for crimes against the Imperium. Despite his relatively short rule, there are still echoes of Vandire's reign of blood that continue to haunt the Imperium even today, thousands of years later, and he remains one of 40K's creepiest characters. Number 5.
Oh my god.
Well,
She's a badass.
yeah, she's a badass. So that's it for part 2, everyone. We appreciate you watching. Please go and give your love to the original video. Julie, what do you think?
Terrified.
Yeah, what's your favourite?
Not that first one. That thing was terrifying.
The Lictor. What about the other one?
No, I think the Lictor was my favourite, just because I think he's cool. But I'm saying that I would never want to experience one.
Obviously.
That'd be terrifying. You wouldn't live.
No, you might as well just give up.
I give up. Hands there, white flag.
But the last one was just a despot. Like, pretty interesting though. How, like, he is disturbing. Let's be honest.
He was just an old, cranky man with power.
Yeah, basically.
Looks like he belongs in American history.
Fair one. Anyway, so we'll see you next time, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and
See you later.
goodbye.
I'm not.
Let's go. Time to grind, get inside your mind. Yeah, we working overtime, that's the only way to climb. We gon' make it in our prime, signing on the dotted line, cashing checks left and right. That's the way I'm living life. I feel alive.